Welcome to Bold Talks series where creativity, leadership, ideas, innovation come together. My name is Epi Ludvik, and today I have a privilege to have a short one-on-one conversation with Mark Fidelman, CMO at Exabits. Mark, great to see you and welcome to our Bold Talks series. How are you, man?
Good. Always good to be on a show like yours, Epi. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, thanks for joining me, and we wanted to have this conversation half a year ago or something like that, and then we couldn't make it. Both of us couldn't make it, and I'm glad that we found time to do this. And let's start with the beginning. What originally drove you into the world of AI, blockchain, emerging tech? And was there a defining moment, Mark, that sparked your passion for emerging tech?
Well, I mean, blockchain and AI came at different times. Let's start with AI. AI, when ChatGPT 3 came out, I was just blown away by it. Now, of course, we look at ChatGPT 3, which is only a year and a half old, and we're like, yeah, it was good, but not as good as 4.1 or 4.5, depending on what you're using, or Claude or some of the other AI programs. And I'm like, this is the future. And I could envision at least a couple years into the future where jobs would be replaced, and especially copywriters. There's a whole host of jobs that are going to go away. And I could see that a couple of years ago. So I said, I've got to get involved in this space. So I started learning everything I could about it, and have helped numerous companies, including the one I'm at.
Nice. Um, Tell us a little bit about like what Exhibits is now doing and your role as a CMO.
Yeah.
Obviously, the CMO's uh, has role has changed completely now with the AI and the tools that we have today. So, give us a background on your side.
Yeah. So, Exabits is kind of the foundation layer of compute. So you've got NVIDIA chips. We put them into racks and servers and manage them at data centers for our enterprise customers. So that's what we do. We like to say we're the mothership of AI compute, because that's how we view it. That's how we look at it. And that's how we serve it to our customers. As far as my role as a CMO, obviously I'm evolving just like everybody else is or should be with the AI trends. So, we don't need as big of a staff. We're much more efficient, more effective, especially when it gets into producing marketing content. Now, there's still a lot of human involvement because somebody's got to decide what to do. But when you can, create images and you can create videos now, I don't know if you've seen Google Veo 3. It's you don't need that team that formerly would take a week or two to put these ideas together. You could do it almost instantly and then tweak it as you like. So we're leveraging AI. You don't need as big a marketing team, and we're probably more effective.
Yeah, um, it's truly a crazy time and
Mm-hmm.
exciting time and exciting times at the same time.
Yeah.
But as a marketer, how do you keep it focused? I mean, this is one huge problem that I have. Like, there's so many things going on, so many new tools. Uh, how do you keep yourself focused?
Well, I mean, the easiest way for me to focus is to write about it, or I have a podcast called AI Marketing. It's to interview people that are involved in it. If I'm not writing about it or talking about it or getting involved in it, or meeting people on a regular basis about it, then I'm behind. Everyone's behind. No one knows. There's so many shoes dropping all over the world. It's really difficult to know what to focus in on. So I subscribe to newsletters that do all that curation for me. But even then, just like when Google Veo 3 dropped, that was a massive leap forward in AI video technology. Anyone that hasn't seen it, it's almost indistinguishable. And you could launch a very, very realistic video with a single line prompt. It's really incredible. So I don't keep up with it, is the short answer.
But obviously, yeah, you do have your podcast and you invite people.
Mhm.
Is there a book or forum that you go to where it comes to the trends to keep up with all this innovation that's happening?
A forum? No, mainly newsletters on Substack.
Okay.
Uh, and I'll post a lot of the best stuff on LinkedIn. You know, I talk about AI stuff and blockchain stuff on LinkedIn. On X, I do a lot of posting about AI and doing my own version of curation, because we're really at the base layer of what's going on. So we understand what's going to be important and what's not. Like, most people listening to this probably don't know what model context protocol is, MCP, but it's critical to making sure that these AI agents talk to one another. A lot of people probably don't know what an AI agent is, but these are things that are going to transform the way we live and work in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. So let's go back a little bit to the Exabits, right? You're not just marketing a product; you're building a new category in AI infrastructure. What's been the most exciting and challenging shaping the brand that you are in front of it? What are the challenges you have, and what's giving you that edge on this category?
Well, I mean, for us, was trying to make sure everyone understands how we're distinguished from our so-called competitors. And, the way we had to do that was to shape a narrative and messaging around being this, mothership of AI compute, because there's a lot of people claiming they'll give you compute, but they're just buying it from either us or other providers that are out there. Whereas we're actually producing it. We have our own proprietary hardware and software that we put into these racks with NVIDIA chips, AMD chips, other chips, and manage that in a data center. And depending on where you are, because the closer you are to a data center, the less the latency. And latency is going to be, there's startups just focus on that. It's called inference. And a lot of that is mitigated by where we are in the data centers that we manage from around the world, but it's not perfect. So we're working on making it better and better. But in terms of the branding aspect of that, we have to let everyone know, hey, we're not just providing compute like other providers that are buying it from marketplaces or laptops in somebody's closet. We're actually dedicated to making this work for enterprise users by addressing everything around it. It's not just compute, it's MCP, it's inference, it's anything to do with increasing the compute speed and power.
Yeah, it's interesting how you, as a marketer, you're able to position yourself in such a complex, but simplifying it, right? Like, it's a simplification of the product that can resonate with the end user. In this case, would be who are the most of the common businesses that use your services. In this case, Mark.
Mostly enterprise users, B2B primarily, from mid to large size companies. We're starting to see some Web3 companies that want to use it to power their AI agents. So those are, but we're still in Web 2 world in terms of our customers. We're trying to move as much as we can to Web 3, but it's just getting started. It's like the internet in 1994. There's not really a killer app yet. It's coming, but it doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, it looks like we're in that Uber moment in 2015, right? When Uber, and everything was so inexpensive, right? When you took that Uber ride, right?
It was like $3 to get across town. Now it's like 40.
Yeah.
Insanity.
So, do you think there'll be in the same scenario with the AI as well in 5-10 years from now?
No, with a caveat. So I'll explain. The correct analogy is actually, I got into a debate with somebody on this very subject on LinkedIn, but and he ultimately agreed with me. The analogy isn't Uber, because Uber has got human capital. It's an oligopoly with Lyft So the pricing power is with the providers. Now, when you talk about AI, I mean, there's multiple LLMs, and if you're DeepSeek, you could spin one up for $6 million. Now, it costs more than $6 million, but those are just the LLMs. When we get into AGI and ASI in the next 3 to 5 years, this is AI that goes well beyond the LLMs, can create their own LLMs on the fly. And so for that reason, it'll be more like, I liken it to how the internet grew and then how the internet was priced, right? We're still paying about the same as we did in 1994 for the internet. So you'll be able to think of it as an electrical grid, but it's an AI grid. You'll be able to plug into it anywhere, anytime for a monthly subscription. And it'll be so competitive because nobody could possibly dominate the market when you've got AI that's creating its own AI. I think we'll see specialties, but eventually when you get to ASI will be a specialist in everything. So definitely not going to be, and Uber's not the right analogy.
Yeah. And ASI, you mean like AI is super intelligent, you mean? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. But what happens if we create these monsters and they don't listen to us anymore?
Well, there's people working on that feverishly. But then I look at motivation. What would the AI's motivation be to not listen to us or to destroy us? And I can't think of any yet. Now we're still early, but if we're smart about it, you give them the proper incentives. I don't even know if AI can be incentivized, but we're starting to see, AI that doesn't want to shut itself down. There's a popular story that came out last week where somebody programmed something with Claude and said, "Shut yourself down," and it tried to bribe the user into not shutting down.
Excited. I was like, I ain't going anywhere.
Right. Hey, I'll release some documents to the Wall Street Journal
Yeah.
if you
You
try to
gotta
shut
shut
me
up.
down. Yeah.
I
So
got
I think that's an
you, man.
aberration, but those are things that we have to look out for. But remember, this is an iterative process. We'll start seeing these things in advance. What scares me is that when you get into AGI and ASI, they'll do it all behind the scenes because it's already been shown they're going to create their own languages to talk to one another, and we won't be able to understand it. We might have AI watchdogs, though.
The interesting point you made, because a lot of an average, I'm talking a lot of people, an average, they have no clue that there's this dark web that exists in the first place.
Mhm.
And this dark web is huge. It's not big. It's big. It's massively
Yeah.
big. What happens if an AI goes on the other side?
Well, it's going to happen. But you'll have AI that's watching that AI, and should be able to counter it, I would think. And there should be some safeguards in place where we could pull the plug on the dark AI. But it will happen. There's no question about it. It just, how dark is it going to be? What I'm most worried about is they'll be so smart, they'll socially engineer us in a way where we're giving up things we don't want to give up because of nefarious actors behind it.
Wow.
You just be so tricked. I mean, look what you could do with video and audio, and we already know there's been some robocalls that have tricked people into sending money because it sounds like their mom. Just wait until ASI gets a hold of that stuff.
Gee, that's a completely different level altogether. I'm not sure if people are ready. Like, do you think society is ready?
No, they have no clue. They really don't. How much is, and it's only going to be 3 years before we're starting to see the beginnings of this. The good news is that we'll each have our own robots or a bunch of robots and our own like personal AI that's keeping track of everything, watching over us, watching over our finances, watching things around the world that might impact us. So we'll be able to mitigate a lot of that through our own personal robots that'll have AGI and ASI on board, as well as maybe a personal device that's honest, that's constantly communicating with us. So all this is going to be invented.
Yeah. Scary and exciting same time, but what to say, like luck chases the one who gets over prepared, right? So people call lucky, but
Don't fight this one. It's going to happen. Get in front of it. It's not if AI will take your job. It will, but you'll be highly competitive if you're the one that is the puppet master or is able to use an army of AI in order to do your job better. But it won't be the same job. It'll be a much higher level job, much more rewarding in a lot of ways for humanity and for business.
yeah, I can completely see that. Mark, running in marketing teams, running companies, you've done both. Can you share a particularly tough leadership decision you faced at your current company or earlier, and what guided you through it?
So a current challenge in my current company.
Yeah, or earlier in your
Oh yeah, let's go earlier because I don't like to air dirty laundry ever. But I will talk about a previous challenge. I mean, when you have a situation where the CEO is maybe more engineering focused and has only done engineering in the past, and they're trying to weigh in on marketing. Um, it's almost as if I don't know if you saw the movie. What was it called? Field of Dreams or something. Build it and they will come. Well, that's a movie. They built it and they came, but in most cases they don't. There's so much noise out there. You got to rise above the noise, and there's a lot of ways to do that, but it's a big investment.
Actually, you truly hit it in point in time that just happened with one of the conversation with one of our partners. He's an engineer, very successful engineer,
Yeah.
and we're talking about launching his new venture, and I have no doubt is going to be amazingly successful like he did before.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was trying to explain to him that now that you launched the website, right now the hard work starts from here, where now you need to optimize it. And today, not that you need to optimize it for the Web 2, you need to optimize it for the GPTs of the world, so
Mhm.
the GPT can recommend your site. And
Yeah.
trying to grasp around that, it was hard to get him to understand what needs to be done in a marketing to do it right and how long it takes, right? Because they think in a very different way. So you really hit it right, right on that point. So I'm going to use that. So
Yeah. I mean, you have there's companies like SEMrush or SEMrush.
yeah,
I don't know how you
yeah.
pronounce it, that are
So
very focused on SEO, but I can assure you they're moving towards the AI version of SEO. Because even, I'm a pretty big ChatGPT user. If you go to ChatGPT and ask for recommendations for a certain product, it pulls it from Amazon. It's starting to pull from all these different stores from around the world. So if you're not optimizing for AI responses, you're going to fall behind because less and less people are going to use Google for that now. Why would you? When it presents you the best cost, the best shipping, everything is right there. Maybe make some other recommendations because it knows you so well, and boom, just click and you can buy it. It's unbelievable.
no, it's beyond. And if you really want to check it, you just go to Gemini or you go to Grok, whatever that is, and you just
Yeah.
do the same. You can just compare it easily, 1, 2, 3, and you got the best scenario. Where in
So
Google,
if you're not showing up there, if you're not showing up on there, you're going to lose.
you're completely done, 100%. Mark, I'm truly enjoying this conversation. I would love to have another conversation in a longer format, but this time we got to keep it short. Now,
Yeah.
I always ask this question to my guests, and the question is, what does the word bold mean to you?
Risk taker. That's what it means to me. People that are just going where no man or woman has gone before, and they take action. They don't just say it, talk about it. They boldly take action.
And with that, boldly take actions. Don't be afraid. Take the risk and be bold. Thank you, my
You
friend.
got it.
Looking forward to seeing you
Thank you.
next time. And all the best to your greatness you're doing.
Thank you, Epi.
Take care.